Now let us see how we can handle a form in our React application. Okay, in the sense that you may have to create an application or a website that have a login or a registration form. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and say let's just make it this way. Let's create one more page. Okay, let's create a page and then call it probably login page, something like that. And then here we have login folder, and then inside our login folder we have our login.js. okay, and I'll just go ahead and do a ref ce, a ref ce, and then this should work, and then I should have it this way. And finally I'll just come to my app pairs, and then I'll route it, I'll copy this and paste it. I'll say let's make it in such a way that whenever he is able to select login, he will be able to see this login component, which is gonna be a page for us right now, and then save. So back to your work, and then you can just go ahead and say /login, and then it shows us this particular login. Okay, so right about now I'm just gonna enter this by holding my control or command and then click on it. Okay, so let's say we have this. All right, we have this. By the way, just make sure that whenever you are returning something in your React application, that everything is being governed in one div or in one element whatsoever. Okay, just like here. Okay, you notice that everything we are writing inside here is just being wrapped with one element. Okay, you don't wrap one element and you come here and open another element, it is gonna give you an error, something like this. It's gonna give you an error, as you can see. So everything must enter just into one element. Okay, so just have that at the back of your mind while we continue in the lessons. Okay, so right now we have this, and all I want to do is just to create a basic form, and I'm just gonna say let's just see a form. Okay, I don't think it's necessary, but then let me just do something like dot form. Okay, so that you can create this. I'm just gonna have a p that says probably your username. Okay, your username, and I'm gonna have an input type of text. Okay, normal input type of text, and I'm just gonna say probably have a placeholder. Okay, placeholder of username, and then I'm gonna have this wrapped in one div. Okay, so I can just say div. Okay, and then I'm gonna repeat this process, and then I'm just gonna have this and have it as password. Remember, we are trying to do just a basic login form. Okay, nothing serious. Okay, so right now I'm just gonna say maybe password, and then it's gonna be input type of word password. Okay, and finally we're just gonna have a button, and then we're just gonna say submit. Okay, and this is just, it's nothing serious. Okay, so that when we come to our where, we can just have this as it is. Okay, nothing serious. So you might want to go ahead and style this. Okay, can you see all this? You might want to go ahead and style this if you want with your CSS, but let's see how it goes. I'll just come here and I will type in login. The CSS thing is not compulsory, but let's just do it. Okay, I'll just come here and say import /login .css, and I'm just gonna have my form. Okay, I'm just gonna have my form here. All right, I'm using form yeah, as you can see, dot form, because it's actually a class name and not a normal element on its own. So I'm just gonna say have a width of 50%. Okay, and then have a margin of I'm gonna add this here, have a margin of auto so that it can actually come to the center. Okay, let's see how it is, and then we just gonna have a background color Let me do, let's see our work first. Okay, cool. I can see it, and then I'm just gonna take it out again. I'll just focus on my input, and then we're gonna see okay, let's focus on the inputs right now. I'm just gonna say inputs. Okay, so inputs here can decide to have a padding, yeah, a padding of maybe 10 pixels. Remember, we are not gonna do anything serious, just a minor design. Okay, yeah, I think this is basically good for me right now as it stands. Okay, so this is what I want to have, and then I can just come here and I'll just have my button. I'll just say public, make it a background color of green. Okay, and then a text color of maybe white by saying color of white, and then let's remove the outline and then the border. I can just say outline to be none, and also a border to be none. Alright, I might decide to add it just in minor padding. I can just say padding up and down become 5 pixels, left and right become 10 pixels. Nothing serious. Okay, and then we can just have this as it is, and this is okay to an extent. Alright, let's just make this one 10 and here now 15, and then I'm just gonna apply a margin top perhaps. Okay, margin top of probably 10 pixels to keep it away from that button, that input for that. Okay, cool. This is just what I have, and then finally a cursor of pointer. Okay, cursor of pointer as it is right now. This is enough, and then what we are gonna look at shows how to manage our states here. Okay, in the sense that we have a form here, and you want to catch whatever thing the user inputs in this form. Maybe the user, you want to submit a form to the back end and then do some integration with it. Okay, so how can we type into this place and then type also into this place and catch what the user has written inside of this box? Okay, or inside of these boxes. Cool. So what I want us to do here is to just create something I call, or we call a state rather. Okay, you can just say catch up the username as a variable. Okay, username as a variable, and then set username. It's always in this format. All right, it's always in this format, and then you gotta say use states. Okay, use states, you have to import it from React. Okay, you have to import it from React. As you can see, it's being imported from React on top here. So just make sure you're importing from React. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, I'm going to set it to a state of host empty string. Okay, I want to set it to a state of empty string, and I will do the same thing for password. I'll do the same thing for password. I'm just gonna say password. So what does this actually mean? This is just to say let whatever value that the user is trying to input as his username be set as empty at first. Alright, so when someone comes to the website, this username box is going to be empty, so it's going to be set as whatever initials I'm adding here. If you type in something here, this box will take up that particular value. But before then, all you have to do is to come here in your input. You're working with username currently, so I'll just say let the value be equal to that particular variable we give on top here. Okay, which is what username. Okay, so finally we're gonna do something else, but before we do that, let me just save this file here, and then let me show us something. If I say that this username is actually Donkos initially, what does it mean? It means that whenever a user comes to this website, he will just see Donkos inputted in this our box. Okay, you will just see it as the value on this in this box. Okay, so notice that you cannot play and you cannot match. Okay, I cannot type into this, but this is not okay. You must let the user be able to type into something. Okay, unless you just want to strictly forbid the user from typing into the box. Okay, so you might want to ask, why is the user not able to type in as at this point? That's because we only gave you the value, but we have not set the value. Okay, so what am I gonna do now? I'm just gonna say onChange. Still inside this place, there's something called onChange. Okay, so onChange is just an event, remember, and then you can just say equal to, all right, equal to, then inside here do something like this, followed by a function, other function, and then you just have to say inside this place, you can just write anything. I'll just take it as an E. You say set whatever thing you are trying to set as this thing. This is the username, so I'm going to say the username right now. I will set username to E dot target dot value. So what does this thing mean now? It means that whenever the user tries to input or type into that box, that is what this onChange means. So whenever a user is trying to type into this box, it tries to set the username from this don'tclose to whatsoever the user is typing into this box. Okay, now look at this. Now when I start to type now, it starts updating. I can even edit everything. So I wouldn't want to stress the user by letting the user have don'tclose as his initials. Okay, whenever he comes to this website, so I have to remove this. Okay, and then I can save this work, and I'll just come here, click out my work. This is just a normal browser text, so I can just have this type here. Okay, so and then this is for password. I will just have to go ahead and do it for the password. I will just do the same thing for the password, and then come here. I can copy this and here I'll just have to replace this to password, and then instead of set username right now, I'm just gonna set the password so that I can also cut whatever the user is typing in as his password. Okay, now finally is when we click on this button, how are we sure that we have actually gotten the value of this inputs? Okay, so that is gonna introduce us to how to handle some summits. Okay, how to handle input summits. Okay, inputs rather. So input form and not the rest of it. So you can just say something like here on clip. Okay, I'm just gonna write a function name handle submit. All right, handle submit, and when I come to this place, I'll just come not in my return statement, but I'll just come just here, and I'll come and declare a variable of that handle submit that I have inserted here. Okay, so I'm just going to write an arrow function as this. Okay, so you might want to say console.log. What am I gonna consider log? I'm going to consider log that username. Okay, comma. I'll also console.log the password at the same time. So what I'm trying to do right now is that whenever we click on this button, it's going to run a function. Which function is it going to run? It's going to run this handle submit function. Okay, and I've written an arrow function here. So when we click on it, it's going to run this function. And what is this function containing? It's just containing basically a username and password. Okay, so all you have to do is to come here and open your console by right clicking, and then inspect, and you can just click on this console here. Okay, let's just remove this here, and then let's type in let's see, we're typing in don'tclose as our username, and then password you can just type in I'm just gonna type in password 123. Okay, so when I click on this, notice what is gonna happen here. I'll just click on it, and it gives me don'tclose and password 123. So this is how you can actually catch the user's input, and if you want to do some operations with it, you can even do. All right, so you can do something more interesting by saying maybe alert and say welcome to our, let us say, since it's gonna be a login, you can say user logged in successfully, something like that. And you say logged in successfully. Now you can simply say, instead of writing it this way, let's use the fragment of this, okay, a backtick, which is this our templates, okay, template string, and I'm just gonna call the username by saying username this way. You know, I want to make use of a variable in this place. That is why I'm having this. Okay, that's why I'm having this template string. Okay, I want to make use of this variable of username. So I want it to be that whatever thing the user types in inside here, you're just gonna allow that particular name and say log in successfully. So let's see if it will work. Okay, I'm also just gonna observe. So we already have this input here. I'm just gonna type it. As you can see, don't close log in successfully. Okay, so if you even type in dude and just say dude loading successfully. So the reason why it's catching the value of that username is because we already set it here, and then finally we are making use of backtick. Okay, if we don't make use of backtick or template string, we are not gonna get in the value of that username. Instead, we're gonna just have a normal string. Okay, let me show you guys. I'm not making use of a normal quote right now. Okay, and then if I type it, I'm just gonna have the last line username, which is not really what I want. I want to get this user. Okay, so you might want to add where this backtick is, or where this template string is in your keyboard, is actually just below your escape key. Okay, just below your escape key. Okay, in the top left. Okay, just below it, the key. Okay, the button just below the escape key. That is where you can get this backtick, and then you can just make this of it in your program anytime. Okay, so that is it for now. Thank you for staying tuned. See you right in the next episode.